Hello and good morning students. Good to see you in the 16th revision lecture. In today's lecture, we are going to pick up a topic which we learned earlier in the regular lectures, lecture number 38, 41 and 42, that is writing. Writing, as I had said earlier, refers to creative writing. Well, in the 38th, 41st and 42nd lectures, we learned about three important topics related to writing. They were report writing, notice writing and story writing from the outline given to us. Well, something related to that is given to us on page number 172 in our text, as I had said earlier. Today, in this lecture, we are going to revise, re-understand the concept about report writing. So, as you see on the board, the usual practice, I ask questions to myself. I have not asked one question today, I put up three questions to satisfy the curiosity of understanding my report writing section. So, as you see on the board, what is report writing, how is it helpful and what does it contain are the three key questions that I have taken up in order to understand this topic. So, let us go through this journey and understand details about it. Well, to answer the first and second question and then the third question, I have taken up two sets of definitions as well as the other necessary things to explain this to you. So let's go through it and understand. What is report writing? Well, the first thing is the definition in a very concise and a brief manner, a very short manner. A report is a brief account of an event that has already taken place. So something that has already happened and now you are going to give a view about that, you are writing about that. So, in a very concise form, a short form, and a brief account, a very short form, that is called report writing. Well, this is one definition for report writing. But if I try to elaborate this entire definition in other set of words, I have another elaborated form of answering the same question, as you see on the other side of the board. A report is written account. So, you see, I have written brief account, and I have used another word over here, written account. Yes, it's a writing form. We are learning about writing. So, a report is a written account of something that one has observed. You have observed that, you have seen that, you heard about it, you have done or investigated. Sometimes you have investigated about that, you researched about that. It is a systematic and well organized presentation of facts. Eventually it's a fact, isn't it? Some event has taken place. So, it's a fact. Facts and findings of an event that has already taken place somewhere. See, I have the same words over here, you can see that has already taken place. So, we have two different set of words in a very short manner and in a more elaborated and understanding manner. So, I hope these two definitions are well and clear to you. Well, how is it helpful? For that too, I have two different ways of answering this question or addressing to it. A report helps in recording the events of importance that occur in day-to-day life. So, something that happens in your day-to-day life and you want to report about that. So, it actually helps us to record this down so that even in future when somebody wants to know about or read about it or recall about it, we have the happenings in a written manner. It attempts to present the first-hand information of an incident or an event. What is first-hand? It means even before you get into the depths of what has happened. Sometimes a theft has taken place, an earthquake has taken place, a fire has taken place. Before you get into the details of that, just the first information, just like we have the FIR, first information report, what we lodge in the police station when something goes wrong. Similarly, we have the first-hand report about the event that has taken place, the incident or event, the first-hand information. Well, the next thing is the question, how does it or what does it contain? What is the parts that it contains inside? Well, to answer this question, a report of an event includes what does it contain, what it should be having inside. One's ideas. You must be having one's ideas inside it, your opinions as to what might have happened, how it could have happened, even if you do not know about it, and impression about the event. So, this is what all it contains, what it should include inside. So, the three questions have been answered in a written manner over here. Well, one more thing that comes to my mind is why should we write reports? What is the the importance of writing reports? Well, for that I have got a question over here. Why reports? So let's answer this question. Reports are used as a form of written assessment, isn't it? When you study things, when you prepare yourself throughout the year, what happens? You are being assessed for your exams. You have to appear for your exam because that is the written assessment to find out how well you have acknowledged the things that are taught to you in school. Similarly, reports are used as a form of written assessment to find out what you have learned from your reading, research or experience. So it's very important to have report writing in workplaces or institutions or the things, and to give you the experience of an important skill. So this is also a very important skill in life, reporting something, isn't it? Which is widely used in workplace. Today you are students, tomorrow you may go out to work where you will have to report things to your seniors, to your subordinate, to your superiors. So this is a good skill to learn about report writing. Well, this was just the basic thing that we understood about report writing. There are a few more things that I would like to discuss as to the format of the report writing. How are you going to write the format? For this, let us look and understand the format that I will try and draw up on the board and show it to you. So here is the format of the report writing that I will be discussing with you. There are two categories or two groups of report writing. Report writing can be related to magazine report writing or newspaper report writing. We are going to discuss about both of these in details with the necessary points that you need to know. Let's see on the board. Format of magazine report writing and newspaper report writing. Well, there are a few points which you will find common. So I have put up as a common part over here. But there are some points of difference that I have mentioned, which is different from a magazine report writing to a newspaper report writing. Let's read and understand details about these things. Well, there are 5 parts. You can see the heading, which is important, byline, the opening paragraph, the account of the event in detail, the conclusion. So 5 important things which are covered in a magazine report writing, and in addition to that we have an important thing, that is place and date of report writing in a newspaper report writing. Well, we will be discussing about this in details. So let's discuss the first thing, that is the heading, which is a very important part of report writing. The title that you choose should be very, very impressive, very, very eye-catching. So a descriptive title that is expressive of the contents of the report. Well, what does that mean? Your title should be very, very relevant to your content. What you want to write, it should be connected to that. It shouldn't happen that the heading is having no relevance with the content that you have provided in the report. So it's very important to have a descriptive title that is expressive of the contents that are inside the report that you have written. So that is the first important point, heading. The second thing, byline. Well, what do you mean by the word byline? Byline means the person who is reporting. When we write the name of the person, we say this report by so and so person. Therefore, it's called the byline. Byline, name of the person writing the report. Well, it is generally given in the question. When you read the instruction given to you in the question about writing the report, the name is usually mentioned, or most of the time it is mentioned. So you will have to use the name of the same person given to you as a instruction question given at the beginning of the report writing. So that is called byline. But you are not supposed to enter any of your personal details over here. So do not write your personal details when you write the byline section or the byline of the report writing. The next point that we need to discuss is the opening paragraph. We are discussing all this about the magazine report writing. Keep this in mind. The opening paragraph, that is called the introduction, when you are introducing your report about what you want to write. It may include the 5 W's. See, it may include. I am not saying it must include. It may include this. It is good to include these 5 W's. What are the 5 W's? Namely, what, why, when, and where, along with who was invited as the chief guest. Say if the report is about an event or a ceremony and somebody has been invited as a chief guest. So it is good to include this who over here, who was the chief guest in that event. Well, so the opening paragraph, the introductory paragraph may include these 5 words as to what was the event about, why was the event conducted, when was it conducted, where was it conducted, and if there is a chief guest or an important eminent person in that event over there, then who was invited as the chief guest. So try to include the 5 W's, which are what, why, when, where, and who, which will help you to give a very impressive introductory opening passage to the reader. That's the main purpose of writing the report, that the reader should be interested in your report. The fourth point of importance that we need to keep in mind while writing a magazine report is the account of events in detail. So eventually when you are writing the report, you are going to give the description about the events, what happened in that event. So the proper sequence of the events that occurred along with their description. You should give a vivid description, a detailed description about all the incidents, all the things that went through the entire event in the fourth part of your report writing, that is the account of the event in detail. It should be proper, it should be in a sequence or a chronological order of the event. Well, that is a bit important. Well, the main paragraph, if you are writing, should be very emphatic and eye-catchy, or it should be very interesting to the reader. The fifth one, that is the conclusion, when you come to the end of your report writing. Once again I am telling you, we are discussing about the magazine report writing. So the fifth point in magazine report writing, which is a common point, but we have difference over here in the newspaper report writing. This will include a description of how the event ended, how did it come to an end. So what could be included? It may include more excerpts from the chief guest. I am not saying experts, I am saying excerpts. That is, sometimes the chief guest has given some concluding speech or words of motivation. You can find out important parts from the chief guest speech. This is called excerpts. So you can include the chief guest excerpts or from his chief guest speech and how did the event wind up, how did it come to an end. Sometimes it is with prize distribution, sometimes it is with a speech, sometimes it is with vote of thanks, sometimes with distribution of some mementos. So accordingly you can find out and write a conclusion, how did the event come to an end in a magazine report writing. Well, these were the 5 points that I just discussed with you related to the magazine report writing. When you talk about the newspaper report writing, there is some points of difference that you will observe or you need to take care of, which I have mentioned over here separately. We will discuss one at a time. Place and date of report writing. Well, it is generally not mentioned in a magazine, but separately it needs to be mentioned in a report writing, that is newspaper report writing. So it is not mentioned in a magazine report writing, but separately, but here it is mentioned. So when you write magazine report writing, it is not required, or it can be written but not a compulsion. But when you are writing a newspaper report writing, it is very important to write the date or write about it in a very specific manner. The place and date of reporting is very important. Opening paragraph, we had this common point in the magazine report writing over here, the introductory paragraph, where there is a difference in the way of writing a newspaper report writing in an opening paragraph. Here we just read that the 5 W's should be covered, it will be good for us to cover over here. Well, it includes the expansion of the headline. When you are writing a newspaper report writing, it creates headline. So we should try to expand that headline, stick to the headline and try and write our report. In the opening paragraph, it needs to be short as it is a general overview of the report. Unlike what we understood over here, the opening paragraph should include, or you should try and include all the 5 W's. Now when you try and include all the 5 W's, your opening paragraph can be a bit lengthy or a long one. But when you write a newspaper, a report writing open paragraph, it includes the expansion of the headline, therefore it needs to be short as it is a general overview of the report. So not to make it too lengthy in a newspaper report writing, because it is a newspaper reporting. The third important thing, which is a point of difference from the magazine report writing, is the account of the events. Just like we read about the account of the events over here, the proper sequence of events that occurred along with their description. Well, it was a general thing. It is generally written in 2 parts, isn't it? As I said over here, we may write this only in 1 part, but here it is important for us to write it in 2 parts. Then, if it is quite lengthy, then we may split it into 2 parts, but not required. But when you write newspaper report writing, the account of details, when you write in the second passage after the introductory passage, when you are giving the entire details about it, then it is generally written in 2 parts, where the first part must have a complete account of what happened in its chronological order. That is preferable, it is preferred. It will be very good if you write all the event in that first part of your main passage. That is the account of events and details, which will be having the first passage with all the complete account of what happened in the chronological order, in the order of its happening, in the sequential way. That is preferred. And the second thing is the witness remarks. Well, what is witness remarks? Sometimes events take place where you find people standing over there and witnessing that. So your second paragraph of that main paragraph should have witness remarks. When you have found out from the witness or those who have seen, so a word from the witness should be added in your second part of the main account of events. That is very highly important to write over there. Finally, we discussed about the conclusion in the magazine report writing. Similarly, we have the conclusion, but with a difference over here. Here we understood about the inclusion of the description of how the event came to an end, along with, if required, the excerpts of a guest speech or something. Well, if something wrong has happened, we do not have guest over here to give us excerpts for that. Well, this will include the action that has been taken so far or will be taken. Say an earthquake has taken place, a calamity has taken place, a great theft has happened, something like that. So we need to know what action has been taken. This will be a part of your conclusion. So far, what developments have happened in that matter. So that has been taken, or so far what will be taken. Either it has been taken or it will be taken in future. So this is about the format writing of a magazine report writing or the newspaper report writing. I hope this has helped you to understand the format well. Let us now look into a written, drawn format about report writing. So here is a practice question for you to practice the report writing. Let's look into the question, understand it and execute the answer. Well, as you see on the board, the question given to you, write a newspaper report. So keep in mind, we are writing a newspaper report, not a magazine report on a bus accident, taking ideas from the given clues. So well, you've been given a set of clues over here. The hints have been given to you. The necessary points have been given. We can say it is a guided report writing. Well, make use of these points given to you and try to structure out the whole report writing. Let's read each and every point and try to understand what does it mean. The points contain in the beginning the place where the accident took place, Shimla. So it's very clear from the point of the clue given to us that we have to talk about, we have to write something about Shimla, not any other place. So further we have got the word April 4, the date is also mentioned. So we don't have to worry about the date or select a date of our own. We already have the instruction given to us. Further, the next point is bus skidded. So the accident was of a bus. A bus skidded and met with an accident. Where did it happen? Which place? Although the place is given, it was Shimla, but some more elaboration is given about the place. It happened in the district of Chamba, which falls in Shimla. Well, moving ahead, what is told to us? 10k, it means just word is given 10k with a number 10k. Now that is just a clue, a point. We need to elaborate the whole point in a sentence. Well, we look into this. Villagers. So something to talk about villagers. 25 injured. So around 25 villagers were injured in this accident, or they were villagers who were traveling in that bus in the nearby places. Next, third incident. So once again we have got a similar thing as we had witnessed in one of our previous report writing, that this is a third incident. This is not the first incident that has taken place in Shimla. So it is the third incident. It means there is really some problem that the authorities are not looking into. So this is the third incident that you are reporting, maybe in a month's time or in a short time, that you will try to elaborate in our writing. Mini truck accident. So the word mini truck accident refers to that incident which happened prior to the bus accident. The bus accident was the third accident. So this was maybe the second or the first accident that happened. So we will be elaborating on this point too, that it was the mini truck accident prior to the bus accident. Finally, we have a pickup van. Maybe the mini truck and the pickup van had a clash with each other, or these are two separate incidents. We will try to figure out this as we elaborate our report writing. And it fell into a gorge. Well, to give you an understanding, I mentioned the meaning of the gorge. Gorge is a narrow valley between hills and mountains, typically with steep rocky walls. So it has got a steep wall, a steep climbing walls over it. It's a rocky wall, not an ordinary wall that we talk about. So it's a steep one, something that is sloping, and a stream running through it, a water stream running through that steep rocky wall is called a gorge. So the bus or the pickup van fell into the gorge. We'll elaborate this. Let us figure out the first thing. As you see, Shimla, April 4, bus period. So first of all, we need to give a title, a suitable title over here for our report writing, followed by the date. Because it's a report writing, therefore we require to write the date and the place where it has taken place. So let's write it out in this manner. You can write it either on the left hand side, or probably we have the heading over here. So you can just mention it over there and take bus accident, terrible bus accident, or any suitable one that you feel is proper, or something that comes to your mind. You can take up your own. Terrible bus accident. So you are reporting about a bus accident. Underline the words terrible bus accident, and further you can mention where it happened, Shimla, so that it is eye-catchy to the people of Shimla because it is related to them. Well, the next thing that we can write over here, or we should be writing over here, is on the left hand side, or perhaps in the center over here. You can write, but I will be using the left side of this to indicate the date and the place where it happened, and the reporter. It is being said by someone. So you can write, because no name has been given who is reporting this. You can take newspaper agency who is reporting this, or perhaps if you are reporting this as a newspaper reporter, you can write your name as the byline over here. So let's write that. It is by, say if I am writing about the TOI, the Times of India. So I am writing by TOI, the Times of India. When did this happen? I will mention the date, because it is already given to us, April 4. And the year is not given, so it is free for me to take any year. So I will be picking up a year, not too far. It is beginning with 4 April, comma 4 April, and I can mention it 2018. Say, let me choose 2 years ago, 2018. By Times of India it is being reported 4th of April 2018. Let me continue my reporting work. To begin, if I take out the things over here, Shimla, April 4th, which is already mentioned, it's a bus accident, bus killing, where Chamba district. What happened? 10 people. Sometimes the clues given to you are not in a very chronological order, so you need to pick up something from the clues given that will give you a start to write. Well, if I just begin my first sentence, I can take up 10 people killed. I can start with that, isn't it? And then give the details about where it happened, what happened. So let me begin in this manner. 10 people were killed and 25 injured. Then I can say where, when, why, how, and all the other questions can be answered. So let's begin writing. 10 people killed. People killed and 25 injured. When a private bus skidded off the road and fell into a gorge. Private bus skidded and fell into a skidded off the road. So it went out of the road. It lost its balance, skidded off the road and fell into a gorge. Well, this is going to be the opening paragraph. As we learned in the format, it should contain all the necessary information in a newspaper report writing. Where did it happen? In gorge in Chamba district. Himachal Pradesh's Chamba district. So we've just made the opening of our report writing. When did it happen? Say it happened on a Monday. On Monday morning, because you are reporting it on the 4th of April. The incident has already taken place. So keep this in mind. We learned about the format. It's something that has already happened earlier and you are reporting it later. So it happened on Monday morning and you got this information probably from the police station. The police informed you. Monday morning, the police said, who told you this? The police said. We are all assuming these things, trying to create a report. Well, further you are mentioning that this is not the first incident, as you saw over here. Third incident, the next day. We've already used this information. Bus kidnapped, we've already mentioned in it. Chamba district, we've already mentioned. 10 people killed and 25 injured. We've already included in our opening line of the paragraph, opening paragraph. Further, we are using the information that this is the third incident and not the first one. So we will be mentioning now. This is the third major road accident in Chamba district in less than a month. This is the third major road accident in Chamba district in less than a month. So it's a matter to worry. When such a report writing is done, people will be aware that there is some problem and they may approach the authorities to make some arrangement for this. The accident took place. Okay, now we will be writing the exact thing where the accident took place. So we will be mentioning that the accident took place we are giving further details about the accident. The accident took place in one of the villages which I am mentioning over here. Accident took place in Koti village. Now that Koti village is around some distance away from some distance away in that place, about 22 kilometers from the Chamba town. Because Chamba is a district, so it's also a town over there. Village about 22 kilometers away from Chamba town. Kilometers away from the Chamba town, where it was headed to. So where it was going actually. Where it was headed to. Where headed means it was moving in that direction. So the bus was going in that direction towards the Chamba town, which was 22 kilometers away in the Koti village. Well, who gave us more information about this? Sometimes higher authorities whom we talk to, particularly in the police. If it's police is giving you the information, you talk to the highest authority, say the superintendent of that particular place. So superintendent of police with a particular name you can write over there. So here I am mentioning superintendent of police. Superintendent of Police Madhusudan told, whom did he say? Told to TOI, that is the correspondence of TOI, Times of India. So when the Times of India had a word with the superintendent of police over the phone from the spot. When told to TOI over the phone from the spot. So when the TOI came to know that a terrible accident has taken place, bus has fallen, so they must have contacted the superintendent of police who is in charge of that area. So Madhusudan, who is the superintendent, gave information to TOI over the phone from the spot, that is the spot of incident or the accident has taken place. Well, report writing is being done on 4th after the necessary research or the necessary investigation. Further, we will be writing, what did he say? He said the injured were admitted to the zonal hospital in that hospital in that area. Were admitted to the zonal hospital. So all this becomes a part of your reporting. What happened after the accident or the incident, where it was located, some 450 kilometers away from the state of capital Shimla. Shimla is the capital. Some 450 kilometers from state capital Shimla. Shimla is the capital city. So the zonal hospital was around 450 kilometers away from the state capital Shimla, where the people were admitted for their further treatment. And after that, more information the superintendent gives us over the phone. The dead were mainly, naturally, as we understood that 10 people were killed, 10 people were dead, so we need to give the overview or the account of that as well. The dead were mainly men. Who were these men and who belonged to the nearby villages? The dead were mainly men and belonged to nearby villages. So you see, we have the word villages covered in this. We had one word as a part of the clue, but this was about the information given by the superintendent of police over the phone to Times of India. We can add the next paragraph over here, giving some additional information. This was the opening paragraph. We had all the incident, all the information related to the current accident that took place, about the bus which fell into the gorge, and then what happened. When we can add into it about the other incidents. This is the third incident happening. Then what happened before that? Mini truck accident took place, a pickup van that fell into the gorge. All this also can be added into the next paragraph. For this, we need to write the next paragraph in such a manner that I will be trying to write for you. Relating to the last month. Last month, let us now write the next paragraph. Last month, you can take any figure that you like. 32 members. 32 members of a marriage party. So, a group of people who were traveling in a mini truck, which was a group of the members of the marriage party, were killed So now we are constructing the idea behind this mini truck accident that took place, which contained 32 members of a marriage party. So it's a huge number of people who were killed. When the mini truck rolled into a 500-meter deep gorge near Sherpur village. So here we are reporting another incident that took place related to the clue given to us, mini truck accident, in which 32 members of a marriage party were traveling and they fell into a gorge which was 500 meter deep, where it happened in another place, Sherpur village. Well, this word is not given to us, but when we are developing the whole report, we need to use some additional names like this as well. This will help you to understand. And when you construct it, you can use something. Some 50 kilometers away, now this Sherpur village was 50 kilometers away from the Chamba district or the Chamba town. Earlier we worked about the Koti village. This is the Sherpur village. Chamba town. Next we are saying on the same day, or you can take up another day or a day if you wish. On the same day, another accident took place. On the same day, in the other accident. So here we have written that mini truck accident was one accident which happened last month, and a pickup van which I am just writing about. On the same day, in the other accident, a pickup van carrying employees. It was a van which was carrying employees of a private company what happened to it? Executing a hydropower project. Who were these people? Executing a hydro power project. These were the members who were moving in that pickup van, fell into a gorge. This is the third incident that we are referring to. One was about the bus accident, the other was the mini truck, and this is the employees being carried by a van. Executing the hydropower project, fell into a gorge. When it is happened? Near. So now we are going to write another village, name of another village, Bharmor. Where is it located? Situated 65 kilometers from the Chamba town. From Chamba. Now what happened in this killing? 9 people. So 9 people who were employees who were traveling in the van were killed on the spot. That is why it becomes very important for a reporter or a news agency to report such events. so that the authorities get aware about such things and then they are looking into the matter to do something. Finally, we will be writing the conclusion. You can say the authorities have taken measures to construct road repairs in these accident prone zone. So you see, the authorities have now taken up the initiative to repair those roads where frequent accidents were happening. So the authorities have taken up measures to construct road repair in these accident prone zones. So this could be your concluding line to finish the report right here. So in this manner, we have completed the writing of our report. I hope this has helped you to understand the pattern of writing a newspaper report writing. This was all in our lecture about report writing. Goodbye. See you soon. Have a nice day.